Nothing says 2020 like disappointments, and hell, even 2021. Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sorry. Is anyone more disappointed than the Pittsburgh Steelers? It's impossible to be more disappointed than the Pittsburgh Steelers. It looks so good. It's fun to watch. You're looking at the scoreboard. They're putting up points. They're dancing. I don't really care. You TikTok. I don't even think that's the most popular thing on TikTok, but you go do you.
I think Corvette was one of the most popular things on TikTok.
Even if it is, hey, whatever. You can make some money off of it. That's totally fine. But my God, have you ever watched a team just consistently for the last decade just slap their fan base across the face with everything they do, and on top of it being like, no, this is the correct way to do it. And it is actually theoretically the better way of playing football. However, it is just the total opposite of how the Pittsburgh Steelers are run. So if you're not winning a Super Bowl, oh my God, does it ever hurt?
Well, I think the funniest part about that is everybody who wasn't a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, as we're kind of watching them get to 11-0, and we're all like collectively questioning, like, are they even good? Like,
it's like same thing as Seattle, really.
They seem like they're winning, but it doesn't look right, and they're linebacker after linebacker after linebacker after linebacker after linebacker keeps getting like injured and out for the year. And it's like, is this sustainable? You just kind of watch the offense just consistently sputter and only run the same, similar concepts and never run the ball. It's just like, I don't think this is sustainable. And then finally, when they lost, it was like complete and utter collapse. Like, yeah, I mean, there's no other way to put it. Definitely,
instant just disappointment. Not only is it, it's just disappointing at all fronts. The lack of commitment from lack of commitment. I would say it's not from the players doing the TikTok. It's from the guy who's on TV all the time, him and those other guys on the line. The dude with the beard who clearly does not give a shit about his body. Yeah, that's the disappointing part.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. I mean, if I'm gonna talk about a team and disappointments, you can't go much further than Houston. You go from being
that was set out for failure. We knew that.
You go from winning a playoff game to being 4-12. Not only firing your head coach and GM, who he was bad, but circle back to ownership. It's not. I don't actually blame Bill O'Brien as much because they approved everything he did, and at a certain point, ownership or the people that allow certain individuals to make certain decisions need to take ownership of that and realize that they are actually the problem. And look, there's a million other things that went wrong with Houston, and we don't need to get into that. But the fact that they went from winning a playoff game last year to being one game away from being in the AFC Championship game, and then we're looking at them being like their star defensive player is no longer there. Their star offensive player doesn't want to be there. DeAndre Hopkins is on a different team. We have no draft capital, nothing. It's like I said to you last week. Like, I don't know how they fix it. I think it's so bad. Yeah, seriously.
He was a chaplain.
He was.
Maybe he has a tapped line he's got the main vein. It's just in. Battle with Deshaun Watson?
Yeah. It's modern
I don't know about this, but okay.
It reminds me of Rasputin from the Russian Revolution.
Yes.
He's like a modern day Rasputin. They're like, here comes this guy who's that's a little bit of a stretch, but speaks to God. He can save your child's life, and only influences the Tsar to do stupid things that only essentially benefit him. That's what Easterby's fucking doing.
It would be an interesting case study that, of course, no one will ever fund because a waste of time. And maybe, speaking of wasted money and time and disappointment, how about spending money on a consulting firm to do your search and you don't use it? But I mean, It doesn't make any sense. That like talk like just the chef's kiss right on the end. Like also, who is even like my question on this is like who is a consulting firm hiring for finding head coaches in the NFL? Like
Well, they had like Tony Dungy and a bunch of other like
oh, they're part. Okay, so
yeah,
none of that
it
point.
was totally like it was legit enough where I was like that's the first thing I thought, and you hear the names that were in it, you're like, oh yeah, like those individuals seem like they would probably have a decent idea who knows what. Like you're never gonna be perfect, but that's actually a pretty solid way to do it. But
Yeah,
then just to go like, yeah, well, you know what? Screw it. I know I'm paying a lot of money for you guys, but I don't give a damn. And hey, Nick Casario is actually probably a pretty good choice, to be fair, but the way he got hired is kind of crappy.
look, if I think really realistically, we'll end on this. If Donald Trump was never elected in 2016 or and not as emboldened, I don't think it is as easy for someone to get into that type of position because that's what it feels